as they often say, every dark cloud has some silver lining. She recounted only several months ago when she was on fire, making Kampala run or move or get transformed. And then what happened, and we thought that was the end, but we were wrong. Within a few months, after going through those troubles, Dorothy emerges even more powerful than before. I may be wrong, but I want to believe that if Dorothy did not undergo that rough experience, perhaps this book would not be with us. So in a way, this book is partly a product of the struggles and experiences that you have been going through, and indeed we are expecting many more books. This book has, Dorothy said, I will not say anything about the book because you are going to buy it in hundreds of copies and you'll be able to read the story. But she also made reference to the 7 Hills group and brought 3 young men here who gave some short testimony. So this book, in my view, I've had pleasure and opportunity to read it, is clearly a must read for all of us. You will pick something from this book, irrespective of what you may be engaged in, whether it is business, you're a professor, you are in the church, you pick something. So it's a book that I highly recommend to all of you so that you can share the views, experience that Dorothy has had. Now, this group of Campus, M7? 7M. 7 Hills. 7 Hills. Actually, 7 Hills Dorothy and your team for having been able to achieve such a phenomenal transformation in a group of young people to be so useful within relatively a short time. If we follow that model of transformation of our people, our country, Uganda, will be transformed within a very short time. So yours has been a very successful model of transformation. Let me also salute Dorothy for bringing on board many different people. I was intrigued to see that work that the church, the Deliverance Church, did in making these young people what they are. You deserve thanks. Sometimes godly people tell us a lot about the Word of God, but when it comes to being on the ground, to be in touch with the reality, you find them lacking. The Deliverance Church has clearly shown the opposite. We salute you. That cooperation between the efforts of KCCA and Dorothy and the church and other stakeholders is a good example to be emulated. It's intriguing. Dorothy at one stage was wondering whether he should have a discussion with these people because of his close association with God. But after further reflection, she said, well, after all, this is my work, I must do it. And it was also interesting that this work of interacting with these young people was partly introduced to Dorothy by some well-wishers. So it indicates to us that we, all those who are in leadership, we should not close our ears to different people, big and small, because we never know where the great idea or great thought will come from. Anyway, I'll give you one or two words about Dorothy. It's true, as she said, we interacted 10 years ago, actually now almost 15 years ago. 15 years ago, when we were commissioners at the NRM Electoral Commission, a job which was quite taxing, but which Dorothy did very well and insisted on transparency and headed the legal department. So whenever we had disputes, many of us were at peace because we would send everything to Dorothy to handle and to resolve a job she did very well again. From the Electoral Commission, she became an advisor on governance in the office of the Prime Minister. Again, I must say, this job was done very well, and many things were put right because of her input. She's somebody who does not see a wrong thing and she passes. She will ensure that that mess is sorted out. Prime Minister's office, COVID came. It really caused it. It disrupted all of us. And I'm glad to see the three gentlemen who have been introduced here, indeed present here, because they work extremely closely with Dorothy in the fight against COVID. Dorothy was appointed the chief administrator of the mobilization of resources team, and her team, and chaired by Katongole, were able to raise not less than 50 billion shillings. Within a very short time, 3 months, I'm glad that every district of Uganda was able to get at least a pickup, and also the health sector, all the people who were involved in the fight against COVID were also assisted with these pickups. So, Dorothy, we thank you for having been diligent in handling those funds. We never had 1 shilling getting lost. So that is Dorothy. I left the Prime Minister's office, and shortly after that, I was listening to news on TV. I saw and had an announcement that Dorothy had become the chief executive of KCCA. I said KCCA is lucky because it has got somebody who will do the job and do it very well. No wonder these young people have said, when Dorothy left, she left us in very good hands, and we are going on well with them. Others would sometimes walk away and just disregard many of the things that were taking place. But that care to know that there is this team, oh, where am I leaving it? I better make sure that the new leaders know about it and take care team. So again, we salute you, Dorothy, for being conscientious and being concerned, even when we are out of office, to make sure that people who require need, who require support, who require assistance are indeed dealt with and are assisted. So let me also thank the family of Dorothy for giving her all the support. You heard what the daughter Simon was saying, and her statement was a very inspiring statement from the young lady. You heard the booming voice. Special voice indeed. I think Peter will have to ask you once again at an appropriate time to come and open your voice once again so that we can benefit from it. I thank the new leadership of KCCA for taking the advice from Dorothy, because sometimes people go to an office and they almost imagine that they are the first people. Hold those offices. So really that humility, that modesty, to share and learn from your predecessors, in my view, is a sign of humility, is a sign of strength, and I commend you for handling it. I've said more words than I intend to say. I think I need to be advised by either Dorothy or by the master of ceremonies on what